Hello guys, today I want to show you a gas sensor for Arduino projects which I bought from AliExpress. So I paid for it like $1.29. It's quite cheap. I hope the quality will be much higher than the price. This is made in China, fully made in China. As you can see, this is the actual sensor. It has four pins. The first pin is analogic output, the second pin is digital output, the third pin is ground, and the last pin is VCC, which stands for power 5 volts. So this is a gas sensor. This is the version called MQ4, because there are a lot of sensors from MQ1 to MQ9, I think, which can measure different types of gas. This is dedicated for methane, I think, gas methane. So his main purpose should be using in-house and measuring and finding gas leaking from the mainstream home gas infrastructure. So it seems to be quite fine in terms of how it's soldered and things like that. I see this. It has two actually semiconductor LEDs, which one is for power LED and should be red color, and the second one is for digital output LED, and I think it's green. So digital output, this should be when a gas limit cross the limits and should be blinking, I think. So we will test this using Arduino UNO R3. This is the board used for test. This is actually clone, buy it from AliExpress also, and I'll use this just to see how the gas sensor will behave. We need to power this sensor using 5 volts, which I found in datasheet attached to the product on AliExpress, and measure the output via analog output and see how the data is going to be. So we will power this sensor. From what I saw, it will be better to just power this sensor using an external power supply, just because this sensor needs like 150 milliamps at low to just get to the proper working stage. It has an internal resistance which needs to get hot in order to give correct measures. So I don't think the Arduino will supply enough current to have a proper setup. So I will use this power supply, and I will bring it a charger, 1 amp charger, and I will power it from 5 volts cord. So let me prepare the setup and I'll come back. Okay, so this is the setup I prepared. This is quite simple. As you can see, I plugged the power supply in, which is 9 volts 1 ampere from Arduino charger. This is the sensor which I plugged in the breadboard, yeah, as you can see. So this is the Arduino UNO R3 board. So for the beginning, I was using an external power supply. As you may already know, within an Arduino we need to create a common ground. So I plugged the ground from the Arduino into the ground from the power supply, just to create a common ground. I have plugged here the power plus 5 volts from the power supply, which is here, 5 volts, as you can see, in the VCC pin. Yeah, the ground pin, it's actually here, the green wire, and the data pin, actually this is the analog output data pin. It's connected to the analog output analog pin 0 from the Arduino board. Sorry for the focus. So we have connected the sensor to the power supply. We have connected the power supply from the breadboard to the power supply from the Arduino. We have connected the analog data output from the sensor to the analog pin from the Arduino. I'll get back to you with the software. Okay guys, so this is the code used. I use Arduino IDE 1.6. So this is the most simple code that you can write just to read the sensor output. Yes, this is not the proper code good to use for in-house project, because I think there are few formulas that need to be used in order to proper calculate the PP gas sensor output. But I think it will do the job. So as you can see, we are reading gas pin which is A0 within a 150 milliseconds delay. So here you can see the output of the sensor. In order to see that the sensor actually sense something, I will use ordinary gas light. So we should see when I give it gas, we should see a change here. So let's see. Okay, as you can see, values are increasing, so the sensor readings are getting higher, so the sensor senses that the gas is on. Yeah, so this seems to be working. I don't know actually if these values will stay like that. From what I saw, from my understanding, from what I saw in the datasheet, actually the sensor needs like from 1 to 20 minutes just to calibrate itself in order to get to the proper temperature in the internal resistor. So what I see here, it might be different from what I will see in 15 minutes. So, but for the sake of the demo, this seems to be working. I don't know how accurate is the sensor. At the end of the day, I paid like $1.50 for it. I do not expect to be very accurate, but it seems to handle the situations here. So just a recap, this is an MQ4 sensor bought from AliExpress, paid $1.50. I tested with Arduino UNO R3 board. I hooked up 3 wires plus 5 volts, ground, and analog output. So there is one pin which is digital output, which will give logic signal, which is high or low 5 volt, I think, just to have a way to power I don't know, a buzzer like this, which is an active buzzer. Maybe we will test it in the next video. So yeah, so hold on a second. Yeah, okay, so this is the sensor again. It seems quite well made. It has actually a coil in the back. I think you can turn it just to change the calibration. I don't know. I will read again in the datasheet. So here's the actual sensor from where I've done the order. I want to check the technical specification just to show you. Okay, hold on a second. So as you can see, this is everything that the producer come out with. Yeah, so actually you can find the datasheet on many sensor producer like SparkFun, or I don't know. Okay, so this is all. Thank you. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe if you like it. Thank you.